the battery was stone dead, so we got her charged up. We had some company over, and now it's time to get the snowbank off this car, which in a sense I guess you could call it a drift car, right? But we're gonna get her in the shop here. Alright guys, I think we're a little bit stuck. It is really low and there's probably snow underneath it. We did it, guys, and you can tell it's cold. It doesn't want to idle without being plugged in, at least not the way it should. This is why a Miata is not a winter car, guys. Check this out. That's what I was stuck on, that much. I guess studded tires would help, but that's your ground clearance. Like up to here on my fingers. You can see it was actually dragging right along there. So it's in. Next project for painting. And you can see my shop is really only good for 2 small cars. I'm just happy to have the dollies to be able to move this thing over. So guys, girls, we got the Miata in the shop. I got a bunch of videos on this car, brought it home. It's an Arizona car, almost rust free. There's like one fender, I think, that has a little bit of a rust repair that we need. The rest is just super sun-baked paint. Yeah, there's a mini build series from a couple years back on this. I've thoroughly enjoyed the car. It's probably the best thing I've owned in terms of vehicles for fun. And I have something that I'm really hoping to bring home this spring. If you've seen my social media, it may involve a certain vehicle with the VIN number that starts with 138 or 183. Well, you Chevy guys will know if any of you are watching for rare cars. But I want to bring that home. Yeah, we got the Miata in the shop here, and the plan is to start body work on it and let it go in spring, sadly. But that is exciting because of what I'm hoping to bring home. Got the Celica in the back there. It's waiting on the motor, as I said last episode. So we got this guy in here. No project name on this one, just Miata. My kids love it. They'll be sad, but we are gonna have a lot of fun finishing this thing out. And it's been, I guess my son he's 6 now, I believe. He's kindergarten age, and this is the only car back there that he remembers, the Miata. He doesn't like the idea of selling it, but I'm sure when he gets into some of these other cars, he's gonna really, he'll have some fun with it. It'll allow me and him to have some project time. I think back on the Miata over there, we'll even maybe see if we can get him running the orbital, having some fun with that. So let's get into this. I think the first thing is we're gonna let it thaw out overnight. My dad's coming in the morning. We're gonna start probably disassembling, maybe sanding, but I'm looking forward to it. You can see back there, that cabinet. I got one more. All my body supplies are in there now. So we got one more right there. It's gonna be housing everything for body working, hammers, sandpaper, sanders. So yeah, we're gonna get into this Miata. We're gonna have some fun. So if you like Miatas, you can see the full history on the car. It's a clean Arizona car at this point. I have slowly brought it back. Yeah. Check out those early videos, we'll link them up. Give you guys a quick walk around on this car. Clean Arizona car, but it's solid. It's baked Arizona. Like the most rust we maybe have is on the other side. This fender is actually solid. Floor is solid. Here in Manitoba, that's unheard of. Yeah, she's solid, guys. Like, even check out these wheel arches. That's solid. Floor is just as solid. It does not get winter driven. It's just sun baked. It'll look real good when it's done. Brand new top, pretty much. So yeah, we're getting right into this guy. So we'll need a bit of a cleanup. Convertibles are always more dirty on the inside. We'll probably do some, hopefully some black interior staining, get that up to new spec as well. Have a look at the engine in a sec here. So in terms of rust, this is all, it's even behind there is solid. There might be a little bit right here, but I think I can rebuild a little patch here and here. And this car, that's the only rust repair it needs. It'll be a nice change. So let's see if we can open the hood with the ice on there. Check that out, guys. There's a bit of snow, but she is clean. When it gets washed, the engine bay is still pretty shiny. Yeah, so it's just painting this guy. Let's have some fun with it. All right, all three of us guys are here. And Dad's down, like I said, would be happening. And
hammer down.
What you doing there?
Marking your highs and lows.
So we got H's on the highs and L's on the lows.
There you go.
Okay, we got the filler mixing happening. I wanted to try something different than the U-Pole Gold lightweight. This is Evercoat Rage Extreme. It's supposed to be lightweight. And the can feels like a quart, even though it's a gallon.
Yeah, and whenever you start up a new tube, you always got to massage it because you want to get everything inside there in one consistency. Otherwise, it'll open it and it'll be all the juice first, and the cream will be left in the bottom. And once that's done, you just take about a pea size to golf ball and that idea. I do it about like that. And when you're mixing this stuff, you want to flip and turn.
And you like to use, you're telling me you have special mixing boards that you like to use.
Yeah.
So
when I'm done the job, I give the board along. It's a gift.
You can mount it on your car or what?
Yeah. Yeah. Jordan's got one on his truck already. And we're doing the 29 Ford. It's looking pretty good. I don't know if Devin is showing you what we're doing with that.
We got to go back for an update yet.
Okay. Yeah, that 29 Ford is just about complete.
I've got some on the floor.
That's probably me, actually.
How does the hood open? Front to back?
You want it open front to back? Yeah.
You find your spots. The smoother you put this down, guys, the less sanding you have to do. Make it look like a piece of artwork. I don't know if you're like me, sanding is probably not the most fun thing. So I pre-marked all these spots on here. So what we're doing is, and on a hood, you watch how the hood moves. See that? So when you put this down, make sure it's as smooth as it can be. Because when you sand it, it's going to want to dig it out. It's going to want to move, right? So just nice and smooth.
I remember having a lot of grief with that actually on those big panels.
And what they tell you to do, so you don't have the air pockets, is run it both ways. And that way you're cleaning up possibilities of having air.
It is nice to have a car that has a lot less dents and rust to work on versus this one.
All right, so Devin and myself, we decided that this Miata needed a little shine on it, and we started. It's a nice clean car. Seen a number of door dents and that kind of stuff happening, so we've just gone around, marked everything, and for now we just put the first layer of body filler on it. We're gonna block sand it, and we're going to check it one more time, prime it, and we'll get ready for paint. It's been quite quite a good repair, other than we found some work back in this corner. I guess some previous damage somewhere, so we open that up.
Oops, hit the shelf.
Otherwise, it is quite a clean car. So, that's it.
Now sanding time
Now it's sanding time.
with the block.
Yeah, now we get the block out.
So I mentioned to you, I would have sanded everything, but why did you not sand everything first? Like, you walk us through that.
When there's still some kind of shine on the vehicle, you can go around and you can find all your dips and doodles and stuff like that. And then I mark them, and then I'll mark it either as a high spot or a low spot. And I'll tackle those parts first, and it'll feather with the body filler, and then the primer will take care of the rest.
Hey, what's happening?
Oh, we're just trying to finish up the hood. You can see this hood has got a lot of, it's very thin. So the whole trick here is that when you're sanding, you're not putting pressure down, because all you're going to do is create a valley in there. Let the paper do the work. So don't put any pressure down, let the paper cut.
We also got, to cover this a bit, got to do a shop cleanup, but Dad is going to be off working at Brian's place. They've been working the 29 Model A. But my job this week, while he's gone, is going to be fixing this quarter, skimming it with some filler. Now that we know what the actual issues is. This one here, getting the door done. I might tackle the trunk, but it's probably a bit much for morning work. And what I love here, you know that nothing's been touched on this side because it's got that factory applied undercoat or Ripley stuff. So that is, I'm going to sand it smooth and it'll be smooth and look better. Alright guys and girls, I've made good progress. I've sanded it all once with some filler on both sides. There was a damage there. It was close, but I skimmed it again. Not a ton of filler in there, just enough to bring that shape back. It's a little bit wobbly. So I'm hoping at this point we're almost there. The most challenging part is going to be fixing this line here, but it'll work. It'll be a 3-part process. I'm gonna have to, because it actually, if you get in there, there's a flat inside of here. So we're gonna have to get the face of this good, and then I'll show you here, like we've done on the Sleek Up. We'll tape it off, we'll fill that edge, and then we'll sand it, we'll tape it off, fill that edge, and then we got to get the very inside of it yet. So yeah, this thing is close. All right, we're working in the shop here. We got all of us, my son, my daughter, and my dad. And my daughter's decorating the shop with some artwork. My 16-year-old daughter. Oh, my 8-year-old daughter. But she's doing pretty awesome artwork. She's pretty talented. This is where I'm doing my artwork. So the quarter panel that was last night's project, and then I had to bridge a little bit here because there's previous. I'll tell you in a bit. I had to bridge a little bit here because there's previous metal work that was done here that required me to just bring this up to a level. So I'm getting creative in here now. I had to tape around here and just rebuild. You got this crease in here. I'm just rebuilding this crease right here. And I want to keep it straight, so I'm using the tape to sand up against as a guide just to clean up that edge. And what are you working on over here?
Oh, there's still fenders.
Perfect.
Fender door up to there now.
What is it for?
This is a sanding block here, and when you have curves, you can use it to do little curves. Like this morning, I used it in here to sand this on the other side. Like this over here. Once I was done all the work, I had to clean up this edge. You want to come see? I had to clean up this edge, and I put sandpaper around here, and then I sanded it like that. But you can use it for whatever funny shapes you have. So you wanted to do some work, right? So what are you doing right now?
Sanding.
Perfect. And then the paint's gonna stick? Cool. Good job. How's your side coming?
Oh, I'm sanding. The paint's gonna stick.
Your paint's gonna stick too, right, bud? Hey, we got one more recruit here. She wanted to do what her brother was doing. So, are you having fun?
Yeah.
Good. Now we all worked on it together, right? Do you think we can get mommy to do something?
Yeah.
You just tell her to bake cookies.
Alright guys and girls, along this whole bottom is a really ugly textured, I guess a stone guard, and I believe it's put there by the maybe you can read better this way. I believe this stone guard was put here by the factory. I don't like it, it's gonna go, we're gonna sand it smooth. I'm about halfway done it now. It's actually sounding pretty nice. Single stage red, as you can see, is coming off of there. So that'll help a lot. I'm going to prime it over and we'll sand it one more time. But we're getting close to having this part done, and I think most of this side of this car is done. So yeah, it'll look a lot better when this thing's done, especially with this stuff off of here. So I'm going to keep going on this, and then we'll give you some more updates on the build. I'm so close on this side, guys, girls. I've got all of this smoothed out now, and I showed you earlier up in here. I've got this nice now. So I filled this once, I sanded another time. This just helps that transition. I've already taken the undercoat off the bottom, blocked it out. There's a couple dents down there. Top is done though. It's beautiful, guys. It's really gonna look good. So on the back here, we have, I skimmed on actually with a razor blade the body filler, because each one of these is a scratch from having the trunk rack actually used for luggage. I always thought those were for show, but this one got used. It sure did. And you can see up close here, it's taking off this texture, and it's fairly straight under here. So yeah, that's cool. And then you can see it gets pretty ugly in there. See that? That I do not want on the car, even if it's factory. But we will put the black back on. The black rockers are factory, so that's going back on there after the paint job is done. I think that needs to be there. One thing I'm on fence about is leaving this in a black, maybe a black metallic. I kind of got attached to it in black, kind of like my old Mach 1 would have had my Mustang. But it might be easier just painting it red, because I'm not doing semi-gloss, unless we do the semi-gloss black and then I re-clear it after. But we got to cover it to protect from the UV rays. It's plastic. All right, guys and girls, this is a putty applicator that I kind of made. So I ran a tape along both sides of the line all the way down. Then I used this guy and ran the putty in there, and then I shaved the putty off, the body filler off of the tape so it was flush, and peeled the tape off. So now I'm going to reapply the tape, and we're going to go to my socket set, and we got the 13 mil socket. I've done this once already, and this is the second time around just to refine it, filling and sanding, and that will give us the shape that I would like to have with this. And basically this is going to go in here when the tape's on, and you're going to sand it like that. So I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And there you have it. The line is done. I've got a couple spots here. You can see them circled. Just little pinholes that I want to fill up. But I think it worked really well. The line is very defined. And if you look in the shadow here versus light, see how it's very consistent and even? So that means that's going to be perfect when the paint is on there. There was peeling on this bumper, so I've had to strip it down. What I got left at this point, I'm just waiting for this filler to dry right here so that I can tackle that. There's a little bit of wave in this door here. So this quarter's done. The trunk is done. And as I think I've shown you guys this already, this side is done. There'd been some previous damage here, repaired by a body shop. I made it better. it needed a bit of to tackle. So down here, this is our rust spot. One here, one here. The rest of the car is solid. It's actually surprising that this fender has it and the rest doesn't. But I've made some patches for that. I guess templates would be the better word. So we got the front one here. It's got to have a bit of a curve in the middle. It'll slide on here and then fold down over underneath. Here's the back one. It'll cover up the back rust right here. And then we'll body work that and we'll be ready for primer. The patch panels I've made, let's do a test fit. That have a bit of a curve, compounded. And it also has a crease down the middle. This will fit here. I think we're gonna cut out the rust and do a lop weld in this area. And this one here, it kind of tapers out and has this angle. So that was done on the shrinker stretcher. And then we'll put this guy in right here. And the fit is really good. So shrinker stretcher for the win on this back one here. But once these are welded in, we can body work it. And then we'll put seam sealer on the back side, a little weld through coating potentially. Though I haven't had good luck with that stuff. So I'm gonna cut a little bit of rust out of here and then we will weld these in. If you ever wonder why your lower fenders rust out, all of this was jam-packed in here. You can see it's sitting right in there. I did look at the back side of these pieces I cut out here. You can see that's the back one. It's actually not spread beyond where I've cut. That's good. Same with this guy here. You can see it's just kind of in that spot. So we got them cut out. And the new guys will fit very nicely in place here. I'm going to go with the lap weld. It'll hold its shape better. We'll put behind there, I'm going to do, what do you call that stuff? Weld through coating. Same with this guy. And I think what I'll do when I apply the weld through coating to them is just run tape along my Sharpie here and we'll be golden at that point, just to not get on here. When this stuff's on there, it does not weld very nice. Well, guys and girls, I think that'll do it for this episode. I'm just chilling with the kind of body filler that's almost empty. I bought it, we used it. Most of it's on the floor, as you can see. But I gotta save a little bit of that for the front bumper where the paint had peeled. So I'm gonna put the plastic adhesion promoter down. I'm gonna prime that bumper when I prime the rest of the car. Then we'll skim some of this on because the UV rays have deteriorated that spot a little bit. Yeah, we'll leave it there with the patches. They're ready to go. Next week we're gonna do those. You'll see the primer come on this car. And hopefully you'll see paint. It'll be either primer and paint and maybe a project update from Brian's 29 Model A. So until next time, guys, have a good one. Get out in your shop, get your stuff done, and have some fun. We'll talk to you later. Bye.